Dan, it's just me and
Daniel.
you.
Here we go, brother. Me and you again. Brunch in 3D, everybody.
That's right. Brunch in 3D. Chris is, he's Wisconsin favorite son. And, this Wisconsin State Fair was ending this weekend. So he, of course, had to make an appearance.
Oh, naturally. Naturally,
Yeah.
the demand is there. Once Wisconsin's first favorite son gets his time in the spotlight, his second favorite son then steps right in. And that's where Chris is, having lots of cheese and, probably signing wheels of cheese for people at the state fair there.
Dude, do you think Giannis signs wheels of cheese?
I guarantee he's done it. I guarantee it. Has to have. Has to.
Because, I feel like Aaron Rodgers would never. He would never. But I don't even know who would actually want him to do it.
Right. Yeah, but Giannis probably most certainly had that question, and I guarantee he would have done it.
Yeah, no question. All right, well, let's get into the first question of the day, which is brought to you by Mr. Chris Gates.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chris Gates. What's a debate you always seem to lose, but you'll never concede defeat?
Oh, damn. Ooh. Strong question. Coming in from Chris. A debate I always seem to lose but never concede. Ooh, boy. It's probably like wrestling related.
Okay.
And to non-wrestling fans that don't understand it, yeah, I will always debate its form of entertainment and won't concede that it's stupid and fake and all that stuff. So that's the first one that comes to my mind. Is that's always, and I have that conversation often enough as an adult, because I'm an adult watching a show that they think is meant for kids.
Mine, first thing that popped in my head is sports related, and it is that Pat White was a better college quarterback than Tim Tebow. And I will go to my grave. I will go to my grave. And it's something Chris mentioned last week that and I almost brought it up, but I was like, all right, we got to get off this topic. So I didn't do it. But if you watch Tim Tebow highlights and you watch Pat White highlights, they look like they were playing a completely different sport. I've been saying this forever. He's just better. He was better than Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow had all the people around him, had all the legendary coaches around him. Not Pat. He was just freaking amazing at West Virginia. And I will go to my grave saying it. I always lose that one too.
Wow. Yeah, I would imagine that's a tough debate to have, but two talented quarterbacks. Can't argue that part.
No.
Can't argue that part. They both had about the same NFL career. So short.
Yeah.
They got that thing in common.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. That question, courtesy of Chris. He didn't tell me his though. I wish he would have told me his.
Oh, that's lame. A lot of his stuff is triggered by something. So
yeah,
there's got to be one. And I'm willing to bet everything in the entire world that it's sports related for him.
1,000%
as well. There's no doubt.
1,000%.
Well, we got to find out next week, because
we got to find
there's
out.
Got one for him. But I'm going to be thinking about that all night, and I know the list is just going to get longer. That's an interesting question.
There's also another one that I have that I don't know if I ever lose these, but I know that the majority of people don't agree with me here. I believe that the Kardashians are the most influential family in modern American history.
Wow. I didn't know you were going to use that word at the end. History.
History.
Strong statement. Yeah. I mean, hard to argue the influence, but history, modern American history.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. You need to watch some more History Channel.
But yeah, that's a debate. I will go down swinging. So I don't feel like I lose them. Everyone else thinks I lose it, but I don't
Yeah.
feel like I do.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
All right. Well, what's up? It's the brunch breakdown. It's Didi out here in Los Angeles. Dan is in Pittsburgh, and Chris is in Wisconsin, and I believe Pewaukee, Wisconsin, which is next to Milwaukee because they just name places really close to each other.
Yeah, makes a lot of
Silly.
sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, silly. Anyways, today on the menu, we're gonna be talking grocery stores and some weird things that Aldi and Kroger are doing. Can't wait to talk about that. We'll be talking a little song of the summer as we talk about what music we're listening to, and the Royals, the Kansas City Royals, are doing some interesting things with food at their ballpark. Interesting they're doing this mid-season, but we're going to talk about that and so much more. But Dan, let everybody know where they can find the brunch breakdown.
Yeah, interesting to say the least. What is interesting though is that you can find the brunch breakdown anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We know to go through and name them: Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, literally wherever you listen to podcasts. You, my friends, can find the brunch breakdown. New episodes each and every Wednesday. Make sure you're following and subscribing so those episodes can come right to you. They go live first thing Wednesday morning. Let the episodes come to you whenever you're ready to listen to them. Full video episodes as well available on our YouTube and our Facebook page. Also debut on Wednesdays. Those come out at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and of course, it's available on demand anytime you want to watch those on both of those channels. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are everywhere on social media. Why aren't you following us? If you aren't by now, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Triller, TikTok, you follow us, we follow you back. It's a lovely world. We work together in this. And of course, last but not least, the Sounds of Brunch playlist updated each and every Friday, or whenever Didi and Chris get their songs over to me. We try to aim for Friday. So make sure you check out the Sounds of Brunch updated exclusively every Friday on Spotify. 2 weeks full. Now, remember, we're doing 2 weeks full. So you're going to get 2 times the music, 2 times the weeks, 2 times the Sounds of Brunch. What more can you ask for?
Well, now it's time to get random topics off our chests. Let's get it off our chests. And Dan, I will get started because mine is like on my brain right now because I just got out of my car like a half hour ago.
Let's go then.
Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps, whatever map apps you got there. I need you to tell me how much time you were cutting off of my drive if you're gonna make me go an annoying route. Okay, like on the certain day, me taking this right turn might shave off 30 minutes. But on the average day, this right turn might make my drive longer. I need to know what you need to tell me, because there's like a couple ways that like I go to work and it's like either I take this right turn, which is a more annoying way, but sometimes it cuts off traffic. In other ways, you just keep going straight and like whatever, you get home basically at the same amount of time. And today was one of those days where I took the annoying route and just watched it go up, 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 up. And I'm like, I could have just got right on the highway, just, went a little slower and I would have just been moving instead of sitting at this light for a very long time, waiting for somebody in front of me to turn left or not turn left and the light, recycles. I need these apps to tell me what they're getting me into on a random Tuesday in Los Angeles or anywhere that I am, because that is the most frustrating thing. I'm all for cutting time, but like I don't need to cut 30 seconds off of my drive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had to get that off my chest because I'm just very frustrated right now, as I probably added like a solid 5 to 10 minutes on to my drive this afternoon because I went the annoying way.
Oh, dude, I hear that. It's a fantastic point. I go through that so often on my way home from work. There's basically 2 ways that I can go, and it's really not doing me any good, not doing justice by telling me one way over the other, because the domino effect is usually very, very poor. Very, very poor.
Yeah.
It's like, was this really the best way to go? Was it? Was it? And very, very frustrating. The problem, I don't know if that the problem is there's too many of these damn things. You know what I mean? Because you have to have location services turned on if whatever app you're using, and if you're not, it's like we're using too many different things. Like, we need one app for that has every car on the move, most accurate information. Because I like get so mad at this damn thing. I'm like, there's no red traffic here. I should have gone that way. I do that all the time. And I'm like, damn it, it's because not everybody's using this app. They're using this one, this one, this one. We all just got to get one traffic driving app. Let's get MapQuest back going. They got it. They're the OGs. I'm switching to the MapQuest app. I think everybody needs to get on board. The most up-to-date traffic. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Bring back the printed maps. Let's go. Everybody just print their directions out the night before and just figure out where you're going.
That's
you want to
yeah.
avoid tolls, if you want to avoid streets or whatever, you figure that out the night before.
Right. Exactly.
What a time. Dan, get it off your chest.
This is going to be probably one of the more random chess segments that I've ever done on this show. So I'm going to be throwing some different things at you. The first one's kind of my main one. Stop throwing shit at musicians on stage. It's really just that simple. Stop doing it. Okay. You should be locked up if you even attempt to do something like that. And if that happens at a show that I'm at, you bet your ass I am calling your ass out, because you deserve to be locked up, thrown away, never to be at that artist's show again or a show in that venue ever again. This trend is just so messed up. It really is messed up. And if it continues, people, we're going to start having barriers at concerts. Okay. Remember when baseball a couple of years ago put in the fencing, like randomly, they didn't really tell anybody, putting the fencing down the baselines, and people were freaking out. It's obstructing my view. Well, get used to watching a concert that way, or behind plexiglass if you keep doing this stupid shit and throwing stuff at people. It makes no sense. It's so dumb. It's so ridiculous. I know we got a story from the guy that threw that thing at Lady Gaga the other day and hit her right in the face. And that wasn't his intention. Whatever. It was the mess. It was whatever. It doesn't matter. You still hit her in the face in the middle of the concert. You shouldn't be throwing anything, period. It's that simple. It's that simple. So stop throwing shit at concerts. And I mentioned wrestling at the top. No tie into this intentionally, but I had somebody ask for a little wrestling talk on the Brunch Breakdown. So I'm going to give it to you real quickly. Get this off my chest. Stop booing Liv Morgan, you stupid idiots. Okay? Stop booing her. So what if she tapped out to Ronda Rousey? They had to make Ronda Rousey look strong. They're not just going to have her lose again and again cleanly. Okay? So stop that. That's pissing me off. Stop booing Liv Morgan. She deserves it for what she went through, the journey she went on through. So there's your wrestling talk. 5 good wrestling seconds on a Brunch Breakdown. A couple things to get off my chest this week.
That is beautiful. And I have something for both of those.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think it's really messed up with the throwing stuff on at concerts, because these people kind of do it on purpose. I don't know if you saw the Kid Cudi at Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
There's a video that a guy who threw something took of him throwing it and watches it just hit Kid Cudi. And I'm like, you took video of you throwing something at the person that you paid hundreds of dollars to see, that you fought through enough people to get that close to throw something at somebody at a music festival, is a feat in itself. So you've been sitting there for a very long time. You knew a week before Kanye wasn't performing. I don't know why you're mad at Kid Cudi and why you're not just like, I'm going to go have a good time at this festival, and you throw stuff at him. And multiple people threw stuff at him, and he just walked off stage. And I'm like, if I'm any performer, I'm like, if I get hit with one thing, I'm out. I'm gone. Sure. Because right there, insurance is covered. You paid for the tickets. I don't care. That guy ruined it for everybody. Because that's just like, I don't know. That's just a crazy thing, just to throw something at someone and hit them. And I'm supposed to keep on going? No.
Right. No way.
I'm good.
Yeah, dude. I hope it stops. I really do hope it stops. It's getting out of control, and I don't blame any of these artists for walking off stage, the ones that have done it.
Yeah, I don't blame them either. And next thing I had, a little more wrestling talk. When I was traveling, A&E was one of the channels that I had in Orlando, and I didn't have that many channels the channels kind of sucked in Orlando. So I ended up watching something on A&E, which turned into, I came out of the shower and freaking this Bret Hart thing was on, and Bret Hart was my guy. That, like, full stop, Bret Hart's my guy, right? Like, my whole dream in life probably still is for him to put the glasses on my face. Like, I could die a happy man at that point. But I watched the one about him, and I was like, this is incredible. And then the next day, I ended up watching one on Goldberg, and I was like, these are really good. So these A&E, like, WWF, WWE documentaries that they're doing are really good. I don't know how old they are or anything, because they're like all old stories. So, like, I don't know how old they are. And I watched one on Undertaker, and I'm like, they're just really well done and good. And I don't know if you ever watched wrestling at any point in your life, those are like really good.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm glad you mentioned those. Yeah, so they've had 2 seasons of them, and everything that you've watched so far has been the newer season, and people were raving even more about the ones this year. They just had Kurt Angle was last week. D-Generation X was this past weekend. I've got that one recorded. You bet your ass I'm going to watch that one. Yeah, these 2-hour long specials on these kind of these biographies, A&E biographies of these WWE, former wrestlers are phenomenal, and people can't stop raving about them. They're doing really, really well. Yeah, Sundays. So Sundays on A&E for anybody looking to check those out. Definitely do that. Third wrestling thing. I can't believe we're talking about this. Chris would be flipping out right now.
Let's go.
By the way, I'm sure you know, but just putting a little pin in it. WrestleMania going Hollywood next year in Los Angeles, April 1st and 2nd. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. Oh, I know, Dan.
So it's in my mind. Just letting you know.
We shall chat.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's open up some brews here. And I got one that courtesy, they just opened an Aldi near my neighborhood. I love Aldi, big fan of the Aldi. And I saw this Carl Strauss Brewing Company and Boochcraft When Worlds Collide Grapefruit Hibiscus. Both these breweries came together for a nice hibiscus grapefruit IPA. I had one this weekend. Super good. I had to bring it out this week because I'm just in love with this. It's awesome. I love hibiscus anything. Like, I love hibiscus margaritas. I love hibiscus in anything, right? And like this with the grapefruit is just fire. And I am a huge fan. And like, I'm gonna pour a little bit of this, I'm gonna pour all of it. But yeah, so check that out.
Ooh.
And it smells so good. You can literally and it's just fire.
Yeah, man. Hibiscus is becoming more and more popular as a flavor profile and a lot of different things like that. I'm with you. It's a really good compliment in a beer, and with grapefruit, that sounds really good.
Yeah, it's super good. So shouts to Carl Strauss, which is a very reliable beer on tap in California. Always here. Because I think Carl Strauss is in San Diego. And in San Diego, and it's just kind of everywhere. So it's cool that they're doing some fun stuff. So I like this, and I got it at Aldi, which shouts to Aldi, because they're all of a sudden popping up all around Los Angeles, which is something that is interesting. I don't know why that is, but they just are. So
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
first of 2 mentions of Aldi on the podcast today. We've got a story for that a little bit later. So for me this week, as you remember, I kind of stated claim of this last week that probably wasn't going to be having a beer on the podcast today because I was at a beer fest this past weekend. And of course, that's multiple days worth of drinking. And I'm headed to a bachelor party this upcoming weekend. Again, more days worth of drinking crammed into just a few. So I need again, I hate doing this. I need to give my body a little bit of a well-deserved break in between these 2 momentous, beer opportunities and events. However, talked about the beer fests that I went to this past weekend. It's the greatest one on the planet. And that's not just me. That's USA Today has voted it twice. It's one of the top best beer festivals in the country. It now goes by the name Barrel and Flow, and it's the first ever Black owned, Black brewed breweries focused beer festival, and it's just an incredible event that they do, and everything they do behind it. But the beer itself, what a lot of these, there's not very many black owned and black managed breweries, as you can imagine, around the country. So what they do is they collaborate with a lot of other local Pittsburgh, but also breweries from around the country that come together and come up with these collaborative beers and release them at this festival. And one in particular stuck out over many, many beers that we had on Saturday. One in particular stood out, and it was a collaboration between Shoe Brew, which is actually a little bit north of Pittsburgh, Shoe Brew, SHU, and the other brewery is called Konzo. I think it's Konzo, KHONSO, Konzo Brewing, and I believe they're out of Atlanta. And these two came together and they brewed a very interesting beer. I want to kind of read you the story of it. The name of the beer is called Torchy Brown, and it pays homage to the first Black female nationally syndicated cartoon artist. Her name was Jackie Ormes, or Ormes. Apologize if I get that wrong. And her iconic character, Torchy Brown. This was back in the 30s when this first came out. So they kind of have like the cartoon around the label. It's very, very cool. So the collaboration between these two breweries, they came together and they made a smoked wheat ale that was conditioned on peaches. And yeah, so when we saw smoked, I do like smoked beer. Some people can't do them, and I completely understand that. Okay. Smoked wheat, that's a pretty typical one. And I like them. But when I saw a smoked ale with peaches conditioned with a fruit, I'm like, now that is not anything I have ever had before. How is this going to work? Right? Because you usually get an oaky, smoky flavor when you're dealing with a smoked, wheat or ale or whatever it is in a beer. This wasn't like that at all. Dude, this tasted like a grilled peach. It was incredible. The smoke was subtle in it, because you think that's going to be a powerful thing. You can't really be subtle with smoke, but they were able to be subtle with smoke. And it was peachy, not too tart, not too sweet, really, really well balanced. And like I said, it tasted like a grilled peach, and it was just so, so good. I went up and I told the guy from the Konzo Brewing, and I was like, this is the best beer here. This is unbelievable what you have done to get this flavor profile all together, working beautifully together. I got to see where I can get my hands on them, selling it anywhere. I'm hoping that they still have some left, but an amazing event, an amazing beer. Certainly, I hope makes up for me not having me one live here today, but fantastic. The Torchy Brown.
The Torchy Brown. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
man.
cool. Little history lesson, Dan. See, when you don't drink, when me and Chris don't drink, we're just like, oh yeah, whatever.
I got some lemonade,
and it's done. Or I got some lemonade, or I got some coffee, and that's it. But when you give us a history lesson, I didn't know there was a Black comic character in 1930. I didn't know this. Right? I'm looking this up. Like, God damn it! Like,
yeah,
geez, damn,
Brown,
just
man.
going all history and everything. Shouts to you. Well, cheers to you, Dan. I don't know if you're drinking anything, but yeah, there you go.
Well, cheers to you. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. That was Brews Day, folks. And now let's get into the main menu. Wow. Aldi. Let's get some grocery stores going. Grocery Lifetime.
My favorite. Let's go.
Aldi. One of my favorite grocery stores, near and dear to my heart. I love the simplicity of Aldi. Always have. Well, they are in the wedding business now, as they are going to give a wedding to one lucky couple who wants it. Dan, you love grocery stores.
I do love grocery stores.
Would you get married at a grocery store? Was that one of the venues that you and Shannon thought about? Were you like, keep it family?
Right. Not even close. Not even close. This is weird. This is a little bit weird, right? It's at their US headquarters is what, like Batavia, Illinois. And it's a store in Batavia, Illinois is where it takes place. Up to 50 guests. And there's Aldi themed cocktails, whatever the hell that means. Aldi wedding favors. And then the couple gets free Aldi groceries for a year. Is that worth it? Dragging your family and friends of 50 for a, quote unquote free wedding. You think that's worth it?
Dan, understand, this is how it's written. The winning couple will receive travel accommodations to random place in Illinois, hair and makeup done professionally for free.
Okay.
We know how expensive this stuff is on the wedding day. Professional photographer to capture once in a lifetime photos walking down the aisle at Aldi. I was with them until that. Then you really start to think about it, because in your head it's like, oh, this is funny, and then it's like a lifetime of photos of you walking down the aisle at Aldi.
Yeah, this isn't getting married at the Taco Bell in Las Vegas and going to experience the Taco Bell honeymoon suite. This isn't that. This is almost, it almost gets too, you're right. It's kind of funny. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. These would be the photos that we have forever that are going up on our walls. Is us walking down in Illinois Aldi. I don't know.
Just think of you have your wedding pictures back. I've seen them. They're amazing, right? I've had mine for a long time. I love my pictures, love my venue. I love all of them. I could not imagine saying I love them if aisle 7 was behind my wife.
Right. I get that exactly. Free is great, but you got to think about this long term. Now, I do have a little bit bias, and because I was in the grocery business and it's in my blood.
Yes.
I hate Aldi. I hate it. And I know I'm the only person on the planet that can say that. I know people love it. And I hate it just as much. I think it's a sham. I think you're feeding a company that is getting its profits and sending its money over to another country. And I don't think that's good. I think it's like shopping out. Basically, you're going to Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I don't think it's a good idea. I think you're going to run those more local and regional based grocery stores out of town, and you'll be bad when they're gone, because then Aldi's not going to be that cheap and Walmart's not going to be that cheap. Not to get on a grocery man tangent, but that's what I do. So I think Aldi's a ripoff, and I think this wedding's a ripoff. That's just kind of what I think.
So in turn, all right. So if your relative, friend, whatever, we're getting married. Hey, Ryan's got a wedding coming up. Let's say he's getting married at Aldi.
Oof.
Are you going?
I'm going. I'm what's the reception like there? How is that even taking place? How awkward is that? How awkward is that in there? You'd be dancing literally down the aisles. And all these aren't that big.
No, they're not. Who sits near the freezer? Who gets the seats in the back? You're he sat me near the damn freezer?
That's a great point. And what's an Aldi themed cocktail? What does that mean? I don't know. I know Aldi has it's not a US based company. They have a headquarters here, but I think it's German. They have all these European treats and trinkets and weird stuff, which I get it. That's cool. You can't get that anywhere else. But don't buy your groceries there. They got caught selling horse meat there years ago. Don't do that. Yeah, it's true. Look it up. But
I'm learning so much about Aldi today.
I'd go, but I'd probably get really drunk and trash the place. Oh, well, you can take your low produce prices and suck it. Trying to drive everybody else out of town. Aldi.
I love it.
Yeah, if weird. Because it's funny, quirky, but then it's like, ooh, that'd be pretty.
You're really doing it.
You're really doing it, and you're really, yeah. We just got big frames up for our wall for our wedding photos that we're putting up, and like I could never imagine even Dan the Grocery Man, Express Lane in the background. Like, oof, no good, can't do it. So I'm sure someone will do it and have the wedding, amazing wedding in Batavia, Illinois. Like that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one.
Yeah. No good. All right. Well, let's talk about another grocery store. Yeah. Kroger. You may soon, because I know sports betting is on, I feel like everyone's ballot in November. Or whenever you're, so I think everyone's ballot, like it's big here. Every other commercial here is gambling. That's what it is. And you may soon be able to do this in Ohio at Kroger. And when I first saw this, the first thing that went through my head was that grocery stores are going back to the way they used to be, because you used to be able to go. Ticketmasters used to be in every Kroger.
Ah, right.
So I'm like, listen, grocery stores coming back after a couple years of people being like, hey, we can get our groceries anywhere, Amazon Fresh, blah, 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 blah. Now grocery stores putting themselves right back in the game, being the place where you get lottery tickets, being the place where you can gamble, being the place where you can get tickets to Kennywood or whatever Six Flags, whatever theme park is near you. Telling you, they're coming back. They're making a big comeback. Yes. Grocery stores.
And I love it. And guess what? Aldi, you ain't going to have gambling in your stores, that's for sure. So shouts to the regional and the local stores for getting creative. You're right. People they don't even have to go in the store. They can pull up and get their groceries right there. That's not good for the grocery industry, people. It's really not. It's convenient for you. I know it. But just go shopping when you're hungry. It's everybody wins that way. You just buy a little bit more and it's fine. But yeah, you made a great point about there used to be the Ticketmasters in grocery stores. Mm-hmm. Like nothing like, picking up a gallon of milk, some eggs, and put a few dimes down on your team while you're there at a kiosk. Just getting creative. I love this. I love this. Yeah. I hate that it's in Ohio. It should be here first. Pennsylvania's you've been allowed to sports gamble here for a long time now. I guess not a long time, but we were one of the first. And I might have to do some more grocery shopping in Ohio if they're going to make it that convenient to do all that right there. I mean, why the heck not?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. What's the closest? I don't know what the closest would be for you. I know Steubenville is right there. I don't know if there's one the other way that would be closer, but I mean, you're not that far away from just going down and, making Kroger's like it's the friggin' Caesar's Palace Sportsbook.
Right. I mean, I hope this develops into a big thing. Like, there are stores, and a lot of people have been to them, like Whole Foods, right? Where they have like cafe style restaurants where you can sit down. We've got Giant Eagle here, which is a big, now it's regional. It's kind of multiple states. They have a lot of their bigger ones where there's bars in it where you can sit there, you could eat, you could drink. They have beer on tap. They have wine. Can you like imagine this, that like grocery stores are, the places to go. You go, you have beer, you eat, you place a bet. What else do you need to do?
Okay. I just made the joke about the Caesar's Palace Sportsbook, but think if there's a corner of Giant Eagle that has the wall of TVs where there's just horse racing going on one TV, basketball games going, football games going, and old people just sitting there just...
Dude, it becomes the place to watch the game. It does. Because here's what it is. Here's what it is. You can tailgate right in the parking lot and the supply, endless supplies right there. You never run out of stuff. You tailgate in the grocery store. You go in, you go up to the bar. You can place your bets right there, eat, drink, watch the game. It's the place to watch the game, is a grocery store.
Dude,
we tone our kids that, you used to just go in here or buy stuff, And now this is where you go to watch games. Sorry, Buffalo Wild Wings. Sorry. They're coming for you.
Oh
Sports
my
books,
God. Like,
Caesars, they're coming for you, man.
dude, I'm happy you mentioned Buffalo Wild Wings because grocery store wings are better than the ones at most grocery stores are better than the ones at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wow. And they're cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, dude.
That's all you
and
need.
you can pick whatever sauce you want. Just go grab it in aisle 3.
Right.
Do the little self checkout. Boop, boop, gone.
Right.
Go right back to your seat.
There, and you're good to go. I'll tell you what.
Boy. Oh boy.
This is the future. This is
the
future.
Kroger Sportsbook. Wow.
What's next? This is what leads us to Grocery Store Music Festival and things like that. We've got, the gambling money behind it. People are wanting to hang out in grocery stores, so they're going to want to come to Grocery Store Music Fest. It gives us a chance to change the music at grocery stores because you're going to have different crowds coming in. Gavin DeGraw, I'm sorry you had a good run, but time's up. We'll give you your festival headliner slot, but then it's time to change things up. The future of grocery stores, it's happening now. They're trying to get this to go for January 1st of next year. So we're only a couple of months away from potentially, if they get approved, to go into these Krogers in Ohio. So it's not that far away, my friends.
Dude, Kroger, Sportsbook, concert venue, like, wow. Like,
Wedding venue,
there's a lot
apparently. Wedding venue.
Dude, yeah, wedding venue. There's a lot of washed pop stars that would definitely play a residency at a grocery store. Like Ryan Cabrera, what's he doing?
Oh, like, for sure.
Like, what's Ryan Cabrera doing? You know what I mean?
Like he married Alexa Bliss, that lucky son of a bitch. He got very fortunate that, for him, that's his career now. Another wrestling reference. There you go. If you're keeping track at home.
Ding. But yeah, dude, Ryan Cabrera residency at Giant Eagle or at Kroger. Yeah, Kroger in Ohio. Ryan Cabrera, dude. I'm telling you, we got something. We got something here. Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our next topic here. The Kansas City Royals. They are selling some interesting food at their ballpark, and this one of several things they're selling is the most interesting. They have a barbecued pork sandwich with Reese's peanut butter cups inside. They have a barbecued pulled pork sandwich with Reese's peanut butter cups inside it, not off to the side.
No,
inside it.
I mean, this is what Brunch Court's all about, right? And this is kind of like a special edition of Brunch Court. This is real, 100% real. Like you mentioned, the Kansas City Royals are doing this at Kauffman Stadium. I'm without speech. I'm without speech. You can see the picture. It's clearly zoomed in too. If you had any doubts that this is real, there's like a chef that created this. This wasn't just some like idiot working the back, working part-time nights at the ballpark. This is a chef that created this for this ballpark. And the headline was, "It's an abomination," and I couldn't use a better word to describe this. It's a complete abomination. And of course, now this is Kansas City, okay? One of the barbecue capitals of the world.
Absolutely.
This idiot went with Sweet Baby Ray's as the barbecue sauce. Like, could you be any more basic using Sweet Baby Ray's on this sandwich? That's insulting enough to people in Kansas City that you go Sweet Baby Ray's, and then you're going to throw pieces, like crunched up pieces of Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh, and there's bacon on it because they said it needed some sort of crunch, I guess, is why there's the bacon bits on it. So that's the full. If you haven't seen this, if you're not seeing this with us, getting nauseous with us, get to a screen at some point this week and check this out because it's the real deal and it's completely and utterly disgusting looking, sounding, all the above.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why when people tell me that like they take baseball seriously, this lets you know that baseball doesn't take itself seriously. Because in what sport do they offer this? Like, baseball's always the sport that they offer the craziest things because you're really not paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
No one going is paying attention to the baseball game because there's no way. You have to pay attention to eat this, for one thing. And also, what other sport can you eat this at? You can't do this during football. You can't do this with basketball. You can't do this with any sport where action is happening. Like,
right.
You can't. You literally can't. Like, it's this is wild to me. But like, I gotta say, if someone told me to try it, I would try it. It's chocolate and barbecue. I can't. It's Reese. It's Reese's and barbecue. So
yeah,
I don't know. If someone bought one for me, I'm not buying this thing. I imagine it's probably like $16 or something like that. I'm not buying that. Silly shit. I'm not buying that. But like, if someone handed it to me and said, try it, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
It's hard to argue that. I think I would be in the same boat, as Chris isn't here this week, but naturally he would be asking who asked for this. That answer is clearly nobody, but this chef was inspired. And again, he's there. What's like the dare to pair menu is what they call it. And I would probably take a bite of it just to see, because weirder things, people do weird stuff with their food and it doesn't seem weird anymore, but they do. Okay. So it's not just one person making this decision. It's not like this is one person like this, right? They're obviously selling these and it's getting people talking. Yeah. It's getting people to the ballpark. Like you said, no action during a baseball game. You're going to go, you're going to get this thing. You're going to talk about it. More people are going to talk about it. And the Brunch Breakdown is going to talk about it. And that's exactly what we're doing. So it wouldn't be, I'm sure it's weird. I'm sure that first bite's a little weird, but it's at least tempting to try, I suppose, because it does have a lot of things I love on here. I love me some pulled pork. I love Reese's peanut butter cups, and I love bacon. I don't want them together, but sure, what the hell? Take a bite.
Like, I think because for me, I really think it's because it's Reese's. That's why. Mm-hmm. To me, I think that's honestly why I'm gonna try it. Because if this were like chocolate sauce, I'd be like, get this away from me. If this were just like M&Ms or something, I'm like, get this away from me. But it's Reese's. And it's like, that's not just chocolate. You know what I mean? That's not just your average thing. Like, that's the American pastime. It's Reese's. With barbecue pulled pork, which is, I mean, come on. In Kansas City, with Sweet Baby Ray's, you could have done better than that. But
could have easily done better than that.
Could have done better than that. You could have done better in the grocery aisle alone. Like, you just could have done better.
Yeah.
Like you could have done better. Like, Stubbs is better. There's just
better. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, the reason that I would at least be willing to like try this, like, I can't really picture it tasting good. I can't, but like, if we weren't talking about this as something that is happening at a baseball stadium around the country, and this was on the latest edition of Iron Chef, and they pulled that basket out and it was like this random shit, and they came up with this, people would be like, I bet you that tastes amazing. They'd be like, okay, I'd be willing to try that. Iron Chef. Okay, let's go. And the judges would be like, unbelievable what you did with this thing. It's amazing how the chocolate kind of melts and peanut butter with barbecue. It kind of, did you know that, this is all tied together, and, the ingredients in barbecue, and how, there's brown sugar in that, and the sugar from the sweetness of the peanut butter. And like, they'd be explaining it all. And you'd be like, I mean, it makes sense. But because this is happening at a baseball stadium, it's like, you're crazy.
Have you watched Supermarket Stakeout?
Yes.
This is prime Supermarket Stakeout right here. You stop some lady at the grocery store. She's got pork, she's got barbecue sauce, and she's got Reese's peanut butter cups.
Right.
Someone tries this, and then whoever's sitting in the parking lot is the judge. They're just like, whoa. this flavor profile is amazing. It just dances on your tongue.
Right. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't look like it should just taste good, but it's working. It makes it all work.
You're 100% right.
Right?
It's all about how it was presented. Like if
Yes.
this were presented by Chef Alex, this is absolutely something I'm like, you know what? I think that sounds pretty good.
Right.
But since it was presented by the random chef at the Kansas City Royals game,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is terrible. Now I want to apologize. This is great. This is great. Shout out to Kansas City Royals for making the perfect sandwich. We're done.
You know, that's what it is. It's all that perception of how it is. It's introduced, and there's your tie. There's your tie right there. Now, I'm not saying it will taste good. It does taste good, but I'm at least saying we've seen crazier things, and when they do it on shows like that, no one says boo, and they're like, oh well, I believe that. Oh, I trust Chef Alex. She definitely knows what she's talking about. That's how you're going to take it. But this, no.
Incredible. All right, Dan, let's talk some music. But before we get into what we're listening to, since school started, that
how's that
me
possible?
out of nowhere. I just saw friends who are teachers posting on Facebook and Instagram their Amazon list and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, school started, first day at school, and I'm like, wait, what? And people posting their kids pictures and first day of school, and I'm like, whoa, school started! Wow, it's mid-August.
Yeah, it snuck up on us very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, big time. And we haven't talked about a song of the summer, and I don't know about you, but I feel like this is one of those years that happens where we just don't have one. There are just several songs that represent the summer of 2022. There's not just that Despacito or, or Call Me Maybe or whatever, you know what I mean? Or Cheerleader. There's not that one song this year. That's how it feels to me anyways.
No, I'm 100% on board with you. I agree. Cause it was just hard when you were thinking about it. I'm like, wow, there's just a lot here. There's not one that definitely stuck out that was just dominated the summer that everybody loves that we haven't seen. I mean, I don't even know if probably not even last year. Those songs you even just mentioned are a couple of years. It's been a little while. And obviously 2020 was weird with music and everything else going on anyway. So it's been a couple of years since we've had a really dominant song of the summer, but I'm 100% in agreement with you that no, there was definitely not one that just dominated the summer for 2022.
What are some of your favorites from this summer? What you got?
Now, you asked me this 6 months ago, or I wouldn't have been, happy to admit this one, but I have completely fallen in love with As It Was by Harry Styles.
Whoa.
Yeah. And going back into April, my stance on Harry, but I like that song a lot. Still.
Wow.
I like that song a lot.
Wow.
I know. Late night talking, music for listening in a sushi restaurant. He's kind of got me hooked. And it all started with As It Was.
Listen, my thing with Harry Styles is I have a weird appreciation for Harry Styles because I think he makes really good background music. I don't think he makes good music that it's weird. I feel like he doesn't do anything that makes me be like, yeah, I'm so excited about it. It's just like, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the song Music to the Sushi Restaurant. And I'm like, and I was at a sushi restaurant at one point this summer and Harry Styles was playing. And I was like, he's on to something. He makes really good music to be in the background of your memories in your life, which is why he's in a lot of reels on Instagram. Like he does.
Yeah.
There's something about it because it's not that it's bad. It's just that it's not like punch you in the face music.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not. If you're seeing As It Was live, you're not screaming every word to it and like dancing around. Like that's not the vibe that song gives off at all. Yeah.
No. But it's good. And I like it. It's just like I want to see It's almost like I want a movie just like with that as the score of that of the soundtrack of the movie. Just
Yeah.
like of those songs, because it's something about that album that I just like. I really like it, but it's also like, and I'm like, why does this make me feel like something's missing? But I think that's what he's trying to do.
That's what he's trying
It's
to
interesting.
do. For sure. Yeah. Ever
But
since
yeah.
they started playing that song on Alt Nation, I'm like, I'm like, no, this is not going to go over well. And then I kept listening. So shouts to Alt Nation and shouts to Harry. That was, that's one of the ones, believe it or not, on my list.
One of the ones on my list, a little controversial. Massive by Drake. Off the new album. Massive is just a fun outside pool party jam, and I just love it. And it's so different from Drake, but it's one of those songs that I'm gonna remember from this summer. And however anybody feels about the album, I feel like that song has legs. I feel like that song is going to have some legs, and it's going to stay around for a bit. But it's definitely one of my songs of the summer. And then like, yeah,
a little controversial. You're right there. A little controversial, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
It just goes to the summer. It's like it's weird. It's like Beyonce's "Break My Soul," right? I love that song. Maybe that will be the song that I remember the most from this summer, because I love that song. Like, genuinely, out of any of these, I love the song. But yeah, it's just a weird summer. But that's another one. Yeah, those two for me for sure.
Yeah, I had "Break My Soul" from Beyonce on my list as well. Again, a little bit later in the back half of summer, but it just really had a lot of life to it, and gave us dance mode Beyonce again, and that's what we all needed. We may not even know we needed it, but that's certainly what we all needed. One that I'm surprised didn't pick up more steam. It certainly picked some steam up, but I thought when I heard it, I'm like, this is it. This is the song of the summer. Easy Lover, Ellie Goulding and Big Sean. I thought this song is going to take off. Ellie Goulding's back. It's catchy. It's amazing. And it's been good. And it's being played. It just never got into that stratosphere that I expected it to, and kind of take off and kind of song of the summer vibes. So that one will be for me, but I'm surprised it never really exploded the way that I thought it would.
I'm with you on that, because I really like that song. And maybe that song ends up just becoming very popular as it goes on. But one for me is that I was surprised just kind of like died once bigger music came out was First Class. Like, remember when First Class was the song of the summer? It was like May. It was just like, that's it. Like, we're done here. It's Jack Harlow. He runs the world. And then, Drake puts out an album, Lizzo puts out an album, Beyonce puts out an album. It's like Harry Styles like songs just never stopped growing, and they just kept, as it was, just never went away. I don't even know if he's released if he's even released another video for that album yet, because as it was, it just kind of stayed the course for this whole time. And just and First Class it just fizzled out.
It did,
like,
quickly.
Just fizzled out.
It's interesting to bring that up. Yeah, because it had all the steam and momentum in the world, and then it just boom. It was like it was gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting one that you brought up. Another one that same type of story was like, it's just a really good and probably underappreciated song, because I think a lot of people thought this person would maybe be a one-hit wonder and they're still young in their career. But damn it, people, the song is good. Maybe you're the problem, people. Maybe You're the Problem by Ava Max. So good. So good. I dare you to sit still and listen to that song. I mean, maybe you're the problem, people. That's why it never got to the height it should have. But still love it. Still love it.
Here's the thing about that song. That song's never going away. That song's going to be in our lives forever.
I hope not, man. I hope it is.
Forever and ever.
For a long time. Yeah.
Because that's a great one. And the last one I had is I don't know if you have like a personal song of the summer that was not anyone else's song of the summer.
Yep.
Bia and J. Cole's London is my song, is the song of the summer in my head, because I just love that song and it just makes me feel good. And like anytime I needed to get hyped up this summer, I was like putting that song on. And that song just personally to me is one of my songs of the summer. I know that's not on anyone else's list, but like that song just, man, that song just gets me every time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, hey, that's what a lot of it's about too, right? Is that especially when you don't have that dominant one. And I had kind of two. I had two that were more songs of the summer for me that aren't going to be on anybody else's, most other people's song of the summer playlist. First one I did put back on the Sounds of Brunch when I first discovered it a couple of months ago. Band out of Boston area called Ripe, and their song Settling. And because it feels like summer. It just, it's so catchy. It'll get stuck in your head, and it'll feel like summer. It's got that summery, oceany kind of almost vibe to it. And it's just an incredible song. Really good. Love the horns in it. It's not ska, but it kind of plays on that a little bit. I love that song, Settling by Ripe. And it ended up being a song of the summer for a listener, a friend of the program as well. He knows who I'm talking about. And then the other one is our boys at Almost Monday in Sunburn. That just screams summer lyrically, within the melody as well. They've got a summery feel to a lot of the stuff that they put out, but Sunburn, obviously, in particular, that was another great kind of song of the summer that I rode through quite a bit. So those are my two personal ones.
They played School Night the day that I came back from the Dance Awards, and I just could not make that happen. And it broke my soul. It broke my soul. It broke my heart that I couldn't go there and support the homie Ashton and Almost Monday. But it was the day I got back, and there was no way I was going to be like, Siobhan, I'm going to go to right. It's like I've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm going to Hollywood for a bit. Yeah, I'm going to go to Hollywood for a bit, hang out with Ashton, and drink a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that wasn't happening. So, yeah,
that's the smallest venue. That's the smallest venue you'll ever see them play in, because it's just taken off from here for those guys.
Absolutely. Sure. That was a fun song of the summer conversation, Dan. But
that was.
What are you listening to this week, sir?
Yeah, this week, my man who had some maybe honorable mentions on my personal song of the summer playlist, the man Rex Orange County, coming in out of nowhere. He had an album release, early this year. Got a chance to see him live on his tour. He unfortunately had to cancel some dates at the end of his tour, but kind of out of nowhere, he released a song called Threat. And this kind of song ties into song of the summer, actually, because he said for himself that this song was made for August time. He said it was made for August time. And he actually quoted and said, go be outside, blast this in the car and roll your windows down. Blast this is the quote from Rex Orange County himself about his song called Threat. It's just that. It's summery, feel good vibes. Just a one-off single that he's going to release this year, but just in time, like you said, as school's kind of coming back, soak up the last couple of weeks of summer. Threat from my man, Rex Orange County.
Nice. Lauv put out a new album last week, and he has a song on there called Stay Together. And it is not a love song that you think about him wanting to stay together with someone. It is a full breakup song. And if you have ever been in a relationship that lasted just a little bit too long, this is your anthem. And it's so good. It's funny because it just kind of hits you in the face with it. You're just like, wait, I didn't know that's what this song was about. And it is. And it's so good. And his album is very good, by the way. It's super good. So All for Nothing's the album the Lauv just put out, and it's really good because he does some interesting things on here that I didn't expect to hear from Lauv. So like this is his second album, I believe, and I really like it. So, but Stay Together is a good jam. So check that out.
I like that. I like that a lot. How could we not include this? This could have had the legs for Song of the Summer. I do think so if it was released earlier. Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj that she just released this past week.
Dude,
I
it's
mean,
Anaconda Part 2 and it's amazing.
It is the incredible sample of Super Freak by Rick James throughout the song. It's like, how does she do it? How does she put the song together? And it sounds incredible with that sample tied in throughout the whole thing. It makes you want to get up off your seat, move, groove. It's a banger. I'm telling you, 2 months ago, this thing would have been high steaming it all the way through summer. I mean, I'm glad we have it, but Super Freaky Girl, Nicki Minaj. Oof. We weren't ready for that one.
Like, if we find out that song was like finished before the summer started, I'm gonna be heated. Because that song is, I mean, come on. Like, I think she's performing at the VMAs in the Video Vanguard Award. I'm sure she's going to perform that song. And I mean, come on. Like, Jesus. That song is so good.
I know.
Oh man. I love that song. So yeah, shouts to you for putting that on. Ray Shrimmered and my favorite female rapper, Flo Milli, put out a song called Community Dick, and it is an enjoyable listen. Whether you love the song or not, I do, but it's hysterical. It's a very funny song. And it's called Community Dick. So, you know, just go into the song not knowing you're not going to go into a serious song. So, you know, just, you know, be ready to laugh. It's a great song. Yeah, Ray Shrimmered, happy they're back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, let us hanging out there for a little while. Not sure what was happening. So that's awesome to see and hear for sure. Last one from me is from Pale Waves. I think I've maybe thrown on a Pale Waves track or two over the last few months as they've been leading up to that album release, and they finally released it this past week. The album is called Unwanted, and I'm going to put the title track on there also called Unwanted. It definitely has a lot of that 2000s pop punk vibe that a lot of people are doing, but it's kind of always been ingrained in their music anyways, because it's still fused with kind of this synth pop mix in style that they have. The whole album is really, really good. If you like that style of music, definitely check out the full album, but I'll put on Unwanted by Pale Waves on there this week.
Like it. Well, since I'm still putting a Beyonce song on every playlist, we're gonna throw, what did we put on last week? Heated. We're gonna throw Energy on this week, sir. That's what we're putting on. Energy this week featuring Beam. I love that song. It's a big household jam in the house for me and the old kiddos. So yeah, Energy is the jam. So check that out. Beyonce, Energy.
You gotta keep those tracks coming. That album is worth multiple weeks on Sounds of Brunch. God. Multiple weeks.
I love that album so much. I can't wait for the dance breaks on tour more than anything else.
Oh geez, yeah.
Like what? Come on.
It's gonna be wild.
Insane.
Wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
It'd be insane. Yeah. Well, that is what we're listening to. Make sure you check out the Sounds of Brunch playlist on Spotify, updated every weekend for all your music. And we got 2 weeks of music on there. So if you missed a week, it's still there. So make sure you check it out on Spotify. Dan, any final thoughts on the Brunch breakdown?
I'm excited about the future of grocery stores, man. Maybe I got to get back into this business.
We literally made grocery stores casinos during this podcast, and that's why we do it.
That's right.
It's the Brunch breakdown. We're out.